In the spring of 1946, the twin cities of Texarkana, straddling the border between Texas and Arkansas, were a quiet, growing community recovering from the end of World War II. Life moved at a steady pace. Young couples enjoyed movies and drives, families attended church, and residents felt safe in their homes. But over a 10-week period from late February to early May, an unidentified assailant launched a series of brutal attacks that left 5 people dead and 3 wounded. The press soon dubbed these crimes the Texarkana Moonlight Murders, and the unknown attacker became known as the Phantom Killer. To this day, the case remains officially unsolved. The terror began on the night of February 22, 1946. 25-year-old Jimmy Hollis and his 19-year-old date, Mary Jean Larry, had just finished watching a movie and parked on a secluded lover's lane on the outskirts of town. Around 11:45 p.m., a man approached their car shining a flashlight into their eyes. He ordered them out of the vehicle. Hollis complied, but the man struck him repeatedly on the head with a blunt object, fracturing his skull in 2 places. Hollis fell unconscious. The attacker then turned to Larry. He assaulted her sexually and beat her severely. Both victims later described the man as tall, wearing a white cloth mask with eye holes cut out, possibly a pillowcase or feed sack hood. Larry managed to escape when headlights from an approaching car appeared, and the assailant fled. Hollis and Larry survived, but their injuries were serious. They provided descriptions to police, though some details conflicted due to the trauma and darkness. At the time, authorities treated this as an isolated robbery or assault. No immediate connection was made to future crimes, and the investigation yielded no arrests. Just over a month later, on March 24, 1946, the violence escalated. 29-year-old Richard Griffin and 17-year-old Polly and Moore were found dead in Griffin's car, parked on another secluded road south of town known as Rich Road. A passing motorist discovered the bodies around 9 a.m. Both had been shot in the back of the head with a .32 caliber pistol. They were fully clothed, and there were no signs of a struggle inside the car. Evidence suggested the couple had been forced outside at some point, as blood was found on the ground near the vehicle. The bodies were then placed back in the car. Griffin slumped over the wheel, Moore in the back seat. Ballistics later confirmed the same weapon was used in subsequent shootings. No motive was apparent, and no suspects were immediately identified. 3 weeks after that, on April 14, 1946, the Phantom struck again. 16-year-old Paul Martin and 15-year-old Betty Jo Booker, both popular high school students, had spent the evening together. Booker played saxophone in a local band and performed that night. Martin picked her up afterward, planning to drive her home. Martin's body was found early the next morning along the side of North Park Road, about 2 miles from Spring Lake Park. He had been shot 4 times. Once in the nose, once in the ribs, once in the hand, and once in the back of the head. His car was discovered later that day, 2 miles away on Morris Lane with Booker's body inside. She had been shot twice, once through the chest and once in the face. Blood trails indicated Booker had been killed outside the car and placed inside. Martin's keys were missing, and the couple's belongings were largely undisturbed. The community was shocked. These were well-liked teenagers with no known enemies. For the first time, police and the public began linking the attacks, recognizing a possible pattern targeting young couples in isolated areas. Panic spread rapidly. The murders made national headlines, and Texarkana residents armed themselves. Gun and lock sales soared. People barricaded doors, formed vigilante patrols, and avoided going out after dark. Curfews were informally enforced, and many slept with weapons nearby. The final confirmed attack came on May 3, 1946. 37-year-old farmer Virgil Starks and his 36-year-old wife Katie were at home on their 500-acre farm northeast of town. Around 9 p.m., Virgil sat reading the newspaper in the living room when 2 shots fired through the closed window from outside. Both bullets, a .22 caliber, struck him in the back of the head, killing him instantly. Katie heard the shots and ran into the room. The assailant fired twice more through the window, hitting her in the face and jaw. Despite severe injuries, she crawled to another room, grabbed a pistol, and tried to call for help. The phone was dead. Lines had been cut. Bleeding heavily, Katie ran nearly 200 yards to a neighbor's house. Neighbors rushed her to the hospital, where surgeons saved her life. Bloodhounds tracked the trail from the scene to Highway 67, where it was lost, suggesting the killer escaped by car. A flashlight was found outside, but it yielded no useful fingerprints. This attack differed slightly, an older married couple at home rather than young lovers in a car. Some investigators questioned if it was connected, but ballistics matched earlier .22 rounds in some aspects, and the method, shooting from outside, echoed the pattern. After May 3rd, the attack stopped abruptly. The killer vanished as suddenly as he appeared. The investigation was massive. Local police from both Texas and Arkansas sides coordinated with county sheriffs, the Texas Rangers, led by Captain M.T. Lone Wolf Gonzalez, and the FBI. Hundreds of officers patrolled streets. Roadblocks were set up and nearly 400 suspects were questioned. False confessions poured in, 9 people claimed responsibility but none matched the facts. One prime suspect emerged, 29-year-old Yowell Swinney, a known car thief and criminal. He was arrested in July 1946 with his wife Peggy on unrelated charges. Circumstantial evidence linked him: stolen cars around attack dates, his presence in the area, but his wife's statements were inadmissible under spousal privilege laws at the time. No direct evidence tied him to the murders and he was never charged for them. He served time for other crimes and died in 1994. Other leads, false confessions, a suicide with a note, various transients, went nowhere. No usable fingerprints matched and ballistics, while linking some weapons, provided no breakthrough. The Texarkana Moonlight Murders remain unsolved. 5 lives lost: Richard Griffin, Polly and Moore, Paul Martin, Betty Jo Booker, and Virgil Starks. 3 survivors scarred forever. The case inspired fear that lingered for decades, changing how people lived in small-town America. It influenced films like The Town That Dreaded Sundown in 1976, but the real story is one of unanswered questions. In the end, the Phantom Killer escaped justice, leaving behind only terror and mystery. Thank you for listening. Remember, these victims and the community forever changed.